Hey everybody, and welcome to my next top 10 video, my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Now if you didn't watch my Let's Play, my Pokemon Fire Red Elimination Lock, I lost. Spoiler. But in that video, I said if you guys got that last video to 10 likes, I mean come on, just 10 likes. If you got it to 10 likes, I would upload a new top 10 about Pokemon. And you guessed it, you got it to 10 likes, yeah! And I wanted to do this anyway. But anyway, here are my top 10 favorite Pokemon. There's not really much of an introduction needed besides I love Pokemon and I'm wearing a Tentacruel shirt. Let's go. The first time I really ever played through a 3rd gen game was Emerald. And who is the starter, you ask? Treecko. You know, Treecko was pretty sick with the peace signs, then you got to Grovyle, you know, he was okay. But then you get to Sceptile, and then you get Leaf Blade. And I can specifically remember moments where I was playing outside with my friends or my brother, don't really know, it might have been both of them, but holding a stick in my hand and slashing it to the same design that Leaf Blade did in the animation, and saying, "Hey guys, look, I'm Sceptile, I'm using Leaf Blade." Yep, those were the good old days. Now I'm going to have to admit that a lot of these choices come from my experiences with Emerald, and I'm guessing not a lot of you watch my Fire Red series, but in that I said that I've probably played Emerald at least 10 or 15 times. And it seemed each time I played, I picked the same team members over and over again. I don't know, I was 8, don't judge me. But I can specifically remember using Breloom over and over again. It was just so easy to get a Shroomish early off in the game, and I can specifically remember moments when I'd have a Shroomish and a Treecko facing Roxanne, using Absorb with both of them. No idea why I had 2 grass types, but I did, and it was basically in the whole game. Of course, later Breloom gets Sky Uppercut, and then he's a beast, though! Sky Uppercut, though, dog! Now number 8 is tricky. I couldn't really decide whether to choose Electabuzz or Electivire, so I kinda just put them together. I've used each of them a fair amount of times, and each time I really enjoyed using them. I've used Electabuzz several times in Generation 1 games, and also I've used Electivire in Generation 4 and up. Now if I had to choose, I would probably say Electivire, because I remember just how hard it was to get him when I was like 8 or 9. I remember sitting in the GTS trying to find Electabuzz holding Electrizers, but it seemed every single one wanted a Mew level 9 and under. And I remember me and my friend, we actually hacked a level 9 Mew into a Pokemon Sapphire, got it into our Diamond, but for some reason it didn't let us do it in GTS trade. So I do remember when we finally got one, it was so sick. I love that Electivire, and now recently I've actually trained another one to level 100. It seems that I keep coming back to Electabuzz and Electivire, so I just had to put them on this list. I mean, why would I keep using them if I didn't love them, right? Now my number 7 is Golduck, and he actually used to be my number 1. You know when you were a kid and people would always say, "Hey, who's your favorite Pokemon?" Well, mine was always Golduck. Why? I don't even know. I didn't even use him that much. I can specifically remember 3 times I used him. I used him in an Emerald once, in a Diamond, and in a Platinum. Actually, it was my first playthrough of all 3 of those, so maybe that's why I like him so much. But every single time, I gave him the same name, Freezebill. Now, don't ask me how I thought of this, because I have no idea why I named him Freezebill, but I did, and I've always loved Golduck since. Every time I see one, I'm like, "Hey, look, it's another Freezebill!" You know, it's just that one Pokemon I used to always love for some reason, so I just had to put him on this list. I still like him, so yeah, Golduck though. Alright, so Hydreigon, easily one of my favorite dragon types. Now I specifically like Hydreigon because he was my first Pokemon I ever leveled up to level 100. And you know that's always a big deal. I bet everyone watching this video can think of their first level 100. Even if you didn't really love that Pokemon at the time, he's easily one of your favorite Pokemon now. It's just one of those milestones you'll never forget if you're a big Pokemon fan. I can't really think of much to say more about Hydreigon rather than he was my first level 100. I mean, he has a pretty cool design, I guess, and when you finally get him at level 64, it's definitely worth it. He's just one of those Pokemon where he takes forever to train up, and when you finally get him, it's pretty sick. So, Hydreigon, easily one of my favorites, my first level 100, that's why he's on this list. Now, I've probably played through Generation 2 games altogether probably about 11 or 12 times, and at least 8 or 9 of those times I had an Ampharos in my team. It's just like, why wouldn't you? It's almost a necessity. You get a Mareep so early on, you can teach it Thunder Punch and Fire Punch in the department store, and boom, one of your best team members, just like that. I'm guessing there's a lot of other people who like Ampharos too, because a lot of people have had them in their team, and that's why I like him. I've used him so many times. And then when they added the Mega Evolution in Pokemon X and Y, I mean, some people didn't really like the hair, but I thought it was pretty sick. I have a Mega Ampharos in one of my teams right now, so I mean, I like him. He's pretty sick, and right when he turns into Mega Evolution and he just swishes his hair back, that's pretty sick. So that's why Ampharos is on this list. I've used him a ton of times. He's almost a necessity. Boom. Alright, so if you're a competitive battler, raise your hand. Okay, I can't actually see your hand, but mine is definitely not in the air. I've never been a competitive battler. I've never even tried it. I have no idea why. I just haven't. Maybe I'd really like it. I don't, no idea. But anyway, I've never been into it, which means I haven't done much IV breeding and EV training. However, I have done it one time, and that is for my Krookodile. I bred him with perfect IVs and attack and HP, and I remember doing all the stupid EV training where you fight Lillipups and Patrats over and over and over again. But I think it was worth it because he became the second Pokemon I ever grew to level 100, and he currently has 396 attack, and I love the hell out of him. He's one of my favorite Pokemon now after using him in that team, and I think it really deserves it. It was so fun using a perfectly IV bred and EV trained Pokemon. If you've never done it for yourself, I recommend you do so. Alright, so my number 3 is Aggron, another team member I constantly chose over and over and over and over again in my Emerald games. Now I don't really know why I chose him. I specifically remember teaching him moves like Surf and Thunderbolt and Flamethrower, even though he has terrible special attack. I thought he was good because he could learn like every single move. But that's why I like him. I just used him so much in my past. In fact, I remember naming one Rico after the penguin in Madagascar. Don't know why I did that, but I actually named a couple of my teammates after that. You're going to hear about another one pretty soon. But anyway, that's why I like Aggron. Now I bet you're wondering, why isn't your name Super Aggron instead of SuperLairon? Or why didn't I just name myself Mega Aggron? Well, I'll give you the answer right now. My name is SuperLairon because Lairon rhymes with Aron. I could have done Super Aron, like Aron, Lairon, Aggron. But you know what? SuperLairon rhymes, and I want to be able to say Aaron the Lairon, Aron the Lairon. It rhymes, and I thought it was pretty cool. And also the headdress of the Lairon was the coolest, so there you go. Anyway, back to the list. Number 2. Okay, so number 2 on my list is Nidoking. Now I know I mentioned it already earlier in this list, but in my Fire Red I kind of talked about my past games. Well, I said in that series that the first Pokemon game, or the first game at all that I ever owned, was Pokemon Yellow version. And in that game, my favorite Pokemon in my first playthrough, and every playthrough after that, was Nidoking. Man, did I love using Nidoking. You get him right away earlier in the game. He's the only way to beat Brock when you're 8 years old, trust me. And he can learn just about any move. Now remember how when I was doing Aggron, I said he could learn every move like Thunderbolt and Flamethrower and Ice Beam and Surf and all that. And that's why I liked Aggron. Well, that's kind of the reason I like Nidoking too. He was able to learn everything, and I taught him everything. Even though his special attack isn't the greatest, I thought it was when I was a kid. I didn't care about stats. I thought it was sick how he could learn every single move. And I remember going through the Elite Four and just doing everything all with my Nidoking when I was like 7. I remember being able to use Earthquake on the Gengars in the Elite Four because they didn't have Levitate yet. I don't know why I specifically remember that, but I do. I don't even remember the name of my Nidoking, but I remember using Earthquake on the Gengars. So there you go. Number 1. My favorite Pokemon of all time is Flygon. Now, remember how I said I had the same team members over and over in Pokemon Emerald version? Well, I actually had one Flygon that I always traded onto my brother's Ruby when I made a new Emerald, and I'd trade him back, and I'd use the same Flygon over and over again, and he'd just keep getting stronger. Now this Flygon, remember how I said with the Aggron that I had another Pokemon named after one of the penguins of Madagascar? Well, my Flygon's name was Kozlowski. Why? I don't know. I just kind of gave all the different people on my team penguin names. No idea why it was Kozlowski. But anyway, Kozlowski was awesome. He was almost my first Pokemon to reach level 100. In fact, when I had him on my Diamond version later on, I had him at level like 95 or something like that. But I ended up starting over that game and kind of forgetting about him, and he doesn't exist anymore. But that Flygon was awesome. And since then, I have used Flygon several times, because Flygon is like the sickest dude ever. You got to do Earthquake and Dragon Claw. Even though Dragon Claw wasn't good, I remember using Dragon Claw, and I love that Flygon. And I really hope they announce Mega Flygon for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They might have already when you're watching this video, I don't know, but they haven't when I'm recording this, so there you go. My #1 Pokemon of all time is Flygon, and I really want to hear what your #1 is, so make sure to put that in the comments. But anyway, that's the end of my list. Now let's go to the outro where I'll talk some more. So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time. As of right now, it might change in a couple of years, who knows? But anyway, if you like the video or you just want to help support the channel, make sure to click the like button right there. I'll really appreciate it. If you want to see future reviews, top 10s, click right here to subscribe to this channel. If you want to see my Pokemon Fire Red Elimination Lock I just finished on this channel, click right here and it'll bring you to the first episode where I randomize the team that I have to play through the whole game with. Or to when I finish the... You'll figure it out if you watch the video. And then, now I'm just going to finish off a quick message to my subscribers, so if you don't, you're free to leave. I mean, you're always free to leave, but get out of here. Anyway, so the Fire Red Elimination Lock just ended, and some of you have been really supportive and can't wait for my next series, but then again, there's some of you who don't want me to keep doing it, and you've actually threatened on unsubscribing to me if I do another Let's Play. And here's the thing, I watched, okay, there's a video, one of King Nappy's videos I just watched a couple days ago. It's pretty old, it was just Wonderlock, but this is what he said at the beginning, and he's so right, and it's basically what I want to say now. I'ma do me, you can go do you. If watching my videos isn't what you want to do, you can go find a different channel. I won't be offended if you don't like the stuff that I put out. I'm gonna put out what I want to put out. I'm just gonna be me. Okay, that's basically the message King Nappy said, and he was so right. It was awesome. So support him. If you don't know who King Nappy is, go look him up. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to click the like button. Leave down in the comments your top 10 favorite Pokemon, or just your favorite, as I said earlier in this video. I mean, that'd be cool too, but I really want to have conversations with you guys down there. Yeah. Bye.